Welcome back to No Chill with Gilbert Arenas. We're back with another heat check. There's a lot of stuff going on the court, but a lot of stuff going on off the court as well. So we got to talk about the biggest story going on in the game, and that's Ja Morant. So last week, Washington Post released an article detailing a bunch of different incidents he had been in since last summer, but the NBA investigated it. I think, other people investigated. Nobody was able to corroborate those stories. Then we fast forward, late Friday evening, Saturday morning, depending on how you look at it. After the Grizzlies had lost to the Nuggets, Ja was at a Shea Club in Colorado, pulled out a little thing. It was a little, I don't even know, I'm not familiar with gunology. I only use BB guns, but ended up getting suspended for at least 2 games by the Grizzlies. So, gotta ask you, what is your reaction to this Ja Morant situation?
Okay, so the basketball that summer, listen, Ja, just say y'all was playing 80s rules, and most of those 80s sports analysis people, they would get the gist. But for the most part, I mean, you have a young kid doing young things, right? It's more of a crying out. It's more of a crying out situation, it seems like, versus, who he's hanging around. Because if you're in Denver at the club, it's you and your teammates, right?
I mean, it's possible that he's bringing some of his crew with him, though.
You don't really have your friends. They're not going to go from Denver they're not going to go to every stop. They just go here straight to like Los Angeles, if that's where the destination is. So this is more of a cry out, right? It's more of a, you're bruising my ego and I want to show you. It's like I'm going to laugh on the outside while I'm being broken on the inside. And that's what I see from him. It's just more of a cry out for, like, the attention part of it, like, I'm not going to let you break me type. It's more of the ego than the thug image. Because he doesn't have a background of being a thug. He comes from a stable household. You can just see him, period, as just a human. Love smiling, love everything he does. He's dancing. He's no different than any NBA player that throws up signs after they score, and but for the most part, he's not some angry player that's running around trying to be a thug. That's not what I get. So I just see mistakes being happen too fast, for a player like that.
When you talk about mistakes, though, in the span of a couple of days before the incident with the gun in the strip club, he was on the bench during the game, letting them off.
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Like,
given the circumstance of the situation that's going on, you find nothing to be wrong with that?
No, because I've been. What's so funny when people talk about they've been there? I've been there, so yeah. I know that the reaction he's doing. If you take away the incidents of what people were saying about the gun, with the 17-year-old, is that fine? Because every other player does it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So since every other player does it, what's the difference? He's under the spotlight, but he's still just being normal. The club incident is he had to consciously think about what he was going to do. Get on the gram, get on the gram. He was on social media, right?
IG Live.
And film himself doing it, which is basically you too, in a sense. So, I just think it's more of a rebellion, pushback than the whole thug movement.
And you think, people have pointed out Colorado open carry state. So I really haven't seen the NRA come to Ja's defense, which is a little confusing to me, but that's for another conversation. But some have said that Ja needs a better crew around him. Others have said that, no, this is Ja and he needs to just be making better decisions. What do you think?
You don't want to give him the scapegoat of using his friends, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to remember you're the person that's in the NBA. You went through college. You made it out. Your friends didn't. You know what I mean? They're making it out because of you. You're pulling them out. So, sometimes when you're sitting around those friends, it's you're picking up their habits versus them picking up yours. So all you're doing is enticing them to be who they really are what they really want to be, and you're just trying to fit in. So it seems like he's going to take on the personality of them instead of them trying to rise to his superstardom. But that's everybody's friends. That's everybody's friends. So I don't understand. Most of these adults in their 50s and 60s, 40s, and when you guys were 23, you guys were doing dumb shit, right? You were doing dumb shit, right? Are we going to forget there was a Dennis Rodman? Was he 23 when he was doing that, or was he 30-something? He was 30-something acting like that, right? Jordan, clubbing in, Vegas, flying Vegas, and then, coming to the game, guard, he hit 55. But if he didn't hit 55, what would they be saying? That's an older Jordan. You know what I mean? Charles Barkley, all these guys are older doing dumb shit. So,
I think Barkley threw somebody through a window or something.
How old was he when he did it?
So
he wasn't 23, is what I'm saying. So, it's easy to throw rocks, when you have stone now and not glass. But, at 23, you do 23-year-old shit, just period.
But is it fair to say that at 23, Ja is a different 23? When you're talking about a multi-million-dollar athlete, a role model, somebody who has, he's out in public, he's doing things, does a bunch of charitable and community stuff as well. It's not the same 23 as somebody like myself who was washed by the time I was 21, just living a regular square life.
You gotta remember, he didn't have a full college career. It's not like he's went to the NBA and everyone on his team is in the 30s, right? Everyone on this team is younger or the same age as him. All immature. All are trying to figure out who they are together. Why you think they all act the same on the court? They're all picking up the same personalities because there's no other example for them to actually look at. So, they're still going to the mall, right? This is the age where they're actually still going to the mall because that's what the age does. Like, instead of, we can just, ship everything to us, but they have to get out and go to the mall and still actually trying to be normal, but they have all this money and all this fame. So when you think about the places he's going to get in trouble, it's only a few places. Club, strip club. That's the world he's in. You gotta remember, the world he's in is more of a strip club. It's a low life. It's a low life. Our job is we have a low life hour. You gotta remember, after we're done practice around 1 o'clock, there's no doctors and lawyers and businessmen or women free. They're work. That time is strippers getting ready for the strip club that night, right? Right? So, we have this time, we're at the mall, no one's there but strippers shopping for their night shift. And then when business people get off, unless you catch them at the mall, but for the most part, you're having the same lifestyle. So it's that 1, 2 o'clock, then you sleep all day, then you're partying at night. So you're in, that hood lifestyle, believe it or not. It's just more of a club scene, for entertainment. And so that's the only places he can actually get in trouble.
So like you mentioned, Ja has a solid support system. He's got his parents around. His dad, T, is pretty much at every single game. Mm-hmm. If you watch the games, very active in his son's life. Mom is as well. But I wanted to shift it and talk about what was your experience like coming into the league and how much support did you have and what outlets did you have to find that support? It seems like you're in college, you got a lot of people on your shit. You're on campus. You got people checking on you. You got to be a tutor and you got to be here. You got to be there. When you get to the league, it's like, you got to be practice games, but the rest of that time is yours. So what outlets or what resources did you have to help you make that transition going from a college kid to now I'm a grown-ass man in the NBA?
There's no resources. There's no one who can identify with what you're doing besides your teammates. If you look around at ex-teammates, their best friends are ex-teammates, the people they played with, because they're the only ones that is going through the same exact thing you're going through. Friends are leeching off you. Girl might be in the streets doing something, parents asking you for money, this person asking you for money, this person trying to get you to invest. So the only people you can really talk to is your teammates. So once you really make it from there, it's how fast can you surround yourself with positive people and get rid of the negative. Finding people who are trying to help you build versus steal from you. But it takes time. Everyone's not fortunate to have good human beings around us. Like, it's, LeBron's success, that clean image, is because of his team that's around him. Players he played with in high school. That's what surrounded him. People who had his best interest. So it's really hard to find, someone who cares about you and not what you can do for them. So he's really in a situation where he has to sit back and just think about, who is for the long run versus who's just here right now. Like, at the end of the day, you're carrying a gun for what? There's nothing you're gonna do with it.
No.
Like, listen, I know what we pretend we're gonna do. Here, they're gonna jack my chain. I'm about to pop off. Every human being is pretended this was black. Pretended that, someone's gonna break in here, I'm gonna do it. No, you're not gonna shoot. You're not gonna be Ja Morant shooting someone. You know what I mean? You're not gonna lose your career like that. So there's no point of actually, doing anything. You get robbed, take it, file insurance, buy a new one. You know what I mean? That's really the only thing. So, but for the most part, it's just something that we do.
So you mentioned, I look at a guy like Melo, right? And Melo always tells the story. David Stern kind of stomped down, like, yo, you need to change the circle. He started surrounding himself with more people that he trusts. Some guys are able to do it, recognize it. There's some guys, though, that can't, that feel like they're turning their back on their brothers, their friends, their family when they do those type of things. So just in terms of your opinion, actually having been in the league and done it, how difficult is that actually to do, to be able to be like, all right, I can't fuck with these people anymore? People that you've literally grown up with, people you've been in the trench with, people that you've done stuff with your whole life. Now to say, look, man, you're on my bag, you're on my career. It sounds easy on paper for the average person at home like myself. Oh, yeah, just dump your crew, get a new crew. Like, that's not how crews are formed, right?
No, it's not. It's not actually how crews are formed. But as players, all you do is just ask your crew one thing. If you guys care about me as much as you say you do, then you would change for this next level. Because at the end of the day, for you to be at that next level, you had to change. You had to change to actually make it as far as you did. So when you're saying, okay, I made it, now you guys come with me, for them to come, they can't be the same. Yeah. They actually have to change. So if they're not willing to change for you, then they shouldn't be part of your circle.
And you mentioned LeBron before, and I feel like when you look at LeBron, kind of the gold standard of how you should move and how you should elevate your crew between Mav Carter.
Is that gold? It was higher than gold.
Or platinum.
Platinum gold.
Yeah. Vibranium, whatever.
Yeah, there we go, vibranium.
But it also seems like LeBron, if you want to try and compare him to Ja, well, LeBron knew 15, 16 that he was that dude, right? He was the chosen one, Sports Illustrated. They were showing his games on TV. So he had a little bit more time to recognize, but I think that's also a testament to kind of who he is as a man and what he's been able to accomplish. But let's get back to Ja now.
You got to think about it. Even his friends were his teammates.
Yeah. But he had old heads in the mix.
No, but what I'm saying is if you look at the crew now, you're talking about Richie Paul was there from high school.
Yeah.
Right? Savannah. Then you have Maverick.
Who was his high school teammate.
So he didn't bring outside friends.
Yeah.
There's no outside Akron boys hanging with LeBron.
Akron squad.
His teammate. Yeah. Whenever you've seen him dap someone up, they've been ex-teammates. That's the difference. Kobe didn't have no friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he didn't have any friends. His friends were Laker, the ones he actually liked. So it's just recognizing that, if they're not equipped to come to the level for that next level, then you can't bring them until they're ready. That's all it is.
Yeah, and you may not be able to bring them at all if that's the case, if they can't get to that level. Because once you start fumbling bags and messing up money, and we'll see what the long-term ramifications are, but...
If you go to Nobu, you gonna bring a hooker there, dressed like a hooker? No. All right?
No.
You're not gonna bring the hooker dressed like a hooker to the Nobu, all right? You're Nobu. The NBA is Nobu. Your friends right now is hookers dressed like hookers. So Go ahead, pretty woman them. Clean them up, put them together, and then they can join.
So last thing on this subject, if you could give Ja a piece of advice, and you got your camera right here, so if you could look in the camera and give Ja just one piece of advice, what would it be?
At 23, you really are not really listening to anybody at the time because we feel invincible. So I want to let them know that you're not invincible, right? We're not. This is just the beginning, and everyone that comes into contact with you, you're not going to be able to trust because you don't know if they're trying to trip you up some more. You don't know if they're going to be genuine. So now this is really a eye opener to see what the world is really like. Your life has actually changed, and you don't even know. When it comes to tiers, you were a one-tier player. You're supposed to be the future. And then this is just real reality, because no one's going to tell you this. You are number one. You, Luka, Tatum, all that. They have now bumped you to tier 2, tier 3. No matter what you go out there and do, moving forward for at least the next 3 years, you're going to be behind those players because of the image. You're going to have to really sit back and re-image yourself. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things where you want to be mindful, but you still have to be a little real. If you don't get voted in the All-Star game, those coaches are gonna look the other way. I mean, a lot of things are gonna happen no matter how good you play. So, it's one of these things where for the next 3 years, you're really gonna have to duck your head and just play basketball, still keep your same personality, and not get in trouble for you to get back to who you were 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago before any of this started. So, I just want to tell you that, it's going to be a tough one, especially mentally, just watching how everything unfolds around you. But just understand at the end of this dark tunnel, there will be light. And, the Kobe's, me now have came out of it, just stay strong, keep working, and then, let your game play for itself. Right now, this is when you really just shut the world out and just play basketball and, just try to be mindful of the things you say, the things you do. But it's going to be, you're going to have to, work on your image again for you to be put back in that top 3, because no matter what anyone tells you, you are now in top 2, top 3. You're going to be the Trae Young, you're going to be averaging 28 and 10, and they're going to somehow leave you off the All-Star game. All that's about to happen, unfortunately. But, just mentally be prepared for it and, just keep going.
That's well said.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to say that. You don't want to say it because you don't know how someone's going to perceive it. You know what I mean? It might look like, hate when it's like, I just want to tell you the truth because I know how it works.
Well, I mean, you see how quickly the media will turn on anybody. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you have a Washington Post report, but people will take that as gospel when the NBA has already investigated a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So if they've done their investigation, but they'll look at this report as if it's not alleged that this is what actually happened, because there's no video right now to support either side.
The media is got to remember, the media is gonna beat you up before there's even any facts. They're gonna find you guilty before the NBA even does anything. So, it's one of those things. Is be careful of the words you say when you do have to talk to media. Keep it just basketball and. For the next 2-3 years, just, stay on that path and just understand that, your goal right now is to be back where you were 2 weeks ago. And that, unfortunately, that's going to take about 2 years.
Okay. Is there any way to speed up the process?
Nope.
Winning the chip?
No, winning the chip. I can tell you this, and this is going to sound like real brutal. Real brutal. The last the last step before crossing that finish line of image changing is he's going to have to cut his hair and become clean, look ungangsteristic, looking so far away from the music that they think he's mimicking, or Memphis. Yeah,
so more Demetrius than Ja.
Yeah, it's like putting on a gangster putting on a suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they want you to, it's like when a gangster rapper goes on the court and, he has a suit on, got the glasses to try to look, presentable. And that's
what their definition of presentable is. Yeah. No, I mean, look.
And that's just the harsh truth. They're not going to say it. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to have to do, what's going to happen, because they're not going to say it. They'd rather just beat you up the whole time.
Yeah.
Dinner at home with the kids can be absolute chaos. But since I've signed up for ButcherBox, life has been stress-free. My chef, because you already know I don't cook and I can't cook, has been cooking up these high-quality meats and seafood that my entire family can enjoy. It's heaven here at the Arena State. There is less arguing about where we're going to order from or which restaurant we're going to hit up tonight. All because we're getting 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, and wild-caught seafood delivered right to our doorstep. The best part is free shipping every time. So, all of y'all looking for a variety of high-quality cuts at an amazing value, you gotta sign up for ButcherBox. It changed my world. And if you like a good deal, ButcherBox is giving our listeners free chicken nuggets for 1 year. Yes, 1 year. And 10% off your first box when you sign up today. So go sign up today at butcherbox.com/nochill and use code NOCHILL to get free chicken nuggets and 10% off your first box. That's butcherbox.com/nochill to get this special deal. Bon appetit.
All right, well, let's keep this thing moving. I think we've covered a lot of Ja, had a lot of good conversations. Let's move to more positive topics. First off, let's come back out to LA.
Well, that was positive.
No, it was very positive. But I'm just saying, I won't even say that. It wasn't a negative thing, but back to the basketball. I'll say that. So we've got the Lakers right now, without LeBron, without D'Lo, 31-34, Gil. You know what that's good enough for? Tie for 10th place, really 11th because the Jazz own the tiebreaker. But in Adam Silver's NBA, that's good enough to be in the postseason. I can't say playoffs. I can say the regular season and then the postseason. So I know how you feel about the play-in, but can this depleted Lakers roster sniff a playing spot, especially with the way the AD's playing home? I just got to read this real quick. Since LeBron's gone out, AD's averaging 35, 11, shooting 53% from the field and taking, 13.3 field goal attempt or free throw attempts. So he's getting to the line too, doing this. They're shooting about 80%. Lakers have the 4th easiest schedule left in the NBA, and we'll say 11 of their last 17 games are in LA.
How many of their last 17?
11 of their last 17. Playoffs?
I mean, unfortunately, they're on their way to the playoffs, play-in, even though they have the 20th best record in the NBA. Yeah, they're in 20th. 20th spot.
I think 21st maybe.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what the East is looking like, so it could be 22nd too.
Yeah, 21st best record. But I mean, it looks like that they will be in the fight for, making the play-in or making even 8th spot. So either way, they're going to make the play-in, because even if you're the 8th or the 7th, you still have to play in that play-in game. So yeah, you can count Lakers inside the playoff game. I mean, the play-in game.
So this past Sunday, previous Sunday, Warriors came to town, and the Warriors are a hot pack of mid on the road nonetheless. Steph Curry returned after missing 11 games. The Lakers smacked that ass. We were smoking Warriors packs on the Lord's Day. But even this team without D'Lo, without LeBron, D'Lo should be coming back soon from that ankle. LeBron's going to be another story. Can this team, I don't even say because I know you hate this plan, but if they finish 7 or 8, would that be respectable for doing it without LeBron? Would you call that a playoff team?
I mean, if they do it without LeBron, and everything they've been through, if they get the 7th or 8th seed, not that 9th, 10th bullshit.
Okay.
If they get the 7th or 8th seed, with LeBron playing as many games he did, AD missing as many games he did, the Russell thing, that horrible ass team, the trade, horrible ass team. That horrible ass team. Yes, I mean, making the 7th or 8th spot, that's actually impressive.
Okay.
Have you seen that roster?
I'm not quite as down on the roster as you. I like the trade and the moves that were made. I'm rocking with Austin Reeves. I'm gonna get you to come over to this Austin Reeves side.
All right, let's take AD out the team.
Okay,
Name the
now
best,
you're doing too much.
Name the best player on the team now.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. So that is impressive.
No, it's definitely impressive. Now, AD off the team, if D'Lo's back, D'Lo would fill that role.
Yeah, but he's not back. So
okay, so it's the bus with cookies and nuts. I already know. But now let's talk about LeBron. So when LeBron first hurt his foot against the Mavs, initially it was 2 weeks, then it was 3 weeks. This past week, Shams came out with a report and said it was looking like it was going to be more than 3 weeks. But I've also heard reports that if this was postseason playoff time,
he'd be playing,
and he absolutely had to go, his ass would be out there doing what he does. So if you're LeBron, what does this Lakers squad need to show you to convince you to come back from the injury a little earlier than expected?
Just consistency. I mean, they're in a nice spot. There's no panic to get LeBron back, especially if they have the 4th easiest schedule. They're looking at, encircling games that we're going to be there. So I think as long as they're still in striking distance, I don't see LeBron coming back within the next 2 weeks. Like if he makes an appearance, it'll be April, just to get ready for the playoffs, or that play-in game. I don't see him coming back early unless they go on a 3-4 game dip.
Okay.
But if they go on a 3-4 game dip, he's out anyway. So,
yeah, he's.
So I think this is one of those things he's just going to keep rehabbing, and whatever happens, when that time comes, end of March, early May, when there's April, when there's 6, 7, 8 games left, it's like, okay, I'll probably come back, test it, make sure it's right, and then get ready for playoffs.
So what is this Lakers team ceiling with LeBron, if he can come back and even be 80% of his normal self? And what's this Lakers team ceiling without LeBron? If now D'Lo and AD, if they can be 80 to 90%.
Oh, like in the playoffs? If they make it to the playoffs?
Just for the rest of the season and potential postseason.
No, I mean, they should make the play-in game. Now, actually getting that spot, it all depends on who they match up against. But it's the first round. If they make the playoffs, first round exit.
They out, holler back?
Without LeBron. If they have LeBron, first round exit.
If they have LeBron.
First round exit either way. Either way, first round exit.
Gil,
I'm sorry.
I want to hear you talking like this.
I'm sorry.
Have
you seen the rest of that team yet?
Solid roster.
No. I know it's solid. No. It's all solid when you have LeBron, AD, and D'Lo. I get that. It's solid.
But you got Vanderbilt locking up on the defensive side.
Who?
Jared Vanderbilt, Gil. See, this is the thing. We're going. I'm calling Genie. Nah, enough's enough.
Oh my God! You just named play. When did he get on the team?
He was in the trade, the Westbrook trade. He came from the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
Vanderbilt. Malik Beasley. You're not rolling with Malik.
I like Malik.
Rui Hachimura.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, we saw him at Wizards night. We saw him at Wizards night.
You're right. My bad.
Looked like Bruce Leroy.
That's my bad. You're right.
Got the nice fluff.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, we did get him. Listen, ever since they traded Westbrook, I've just been.
You not rolling?
I've just been like, ugh.
Austin Reeves. We're going to make you
That's why you keep throwing that name.
We're going to make you a believer.
It just reminds me of how bad the 80s were.
Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
Doing work. We're going to get him on the show. Y'all gonna connect with each other.
Have you noticed I always pick one and I just stick with just.
He got Negro
It was Walker
tendencies.
before him, now it's him.
He got Negro tendencies. He puts his elbow on the tables at Roscoe's.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
I got to find someone else then to pick at.
That's what I'm just telling you. You know, you got to really see the light with Reeves. He's like Caruso, but even better offensively.
Okay.
Which I never thought I would say. So let's keep this in the West. We're gonna move to the Southwest. Your former state of residence, Arizona, during your college days.
Woohoo!
Tucson,
Woohoo!
Tucson's kind of actually Tucson. I can't even hate.
Bear down.
I can't even hate. I know you can hate that ass when we put on y'all this past week.
Oh my God! Did you see the reffing?
Beautiful.
Yeah, of
Exquisite.
course. Yeah.
Well officiated. No. Even us on the UCLA side, I was at the game. I saw you too, but you had much better seats than me. So I was still 10 on the floor, but you had a much better vantage.
Yeah, you was 10th? I was 9.
I was 10 on the floor.
Oh.
But stanchion,
Okay.
behind the hoop,
Okay.
janky. But it is what it is. God bless you, UCLA. Yeah, that officiating was pretty bad. It was pretty mid, but we did get that win, should get that 1 seed. But let's talk about the professional team in Arizona, the Phoenix Suns. Mm-hmm. So right now they're 4th in the West, but they've won 3 straight with Kevin Durant making his return from injury. They be killing.
I know.
D-Book, 35-plus points in all 3 of those games. KD looking nice against the Mavs. D-Book and Luka rekindling their situations, their entanglements, if you will.
Did you see the little entanglement? They laughing. Yeah. They both giggling and shit. That's the NBA I like. Right there. No, it's basketball beef.
Like you've mentioned, I don't think either one of them dudes wants to lose a game check.
No.
They're not really. They're not at that level of, you know what I mean? Like,
no, it's just part of the competitiveness of the game where, you know, you're just standing tall. You know, that's what I said. You're not, you know, like the football mindset, that is not basketball mindset. You know, we train with each other, we play against each other. We can get, like football, you don't get traded to teams like that. Like we get traded. So they can be teammates and then it's like, hey, what's up? You know, so it's not real beef. There's only like a few people that actually have beef with each other. Other than that, it's just...
We saw that with Westbrook and Pat Bev, right?
Yeah.
Historically beef, now they're spending Thanksgivings with each other, holidays, rubbing with each other when they're teammates.
So you can understand, like, when you're saying beef, we're beefing with each other, and then Patrick Beverly told a story. We're beefing, like this, I'm after him, and he gave my sister tickets front row. Yeah. Because she didn't have none. But you see how... Yeah. You know, you see how, you know, the thought of, okay, that's just, okay, yeah, you know what I mean? So there's still respect of, you know, the craft.
We'll turn it on the court versus off the court. So we're on the court, we might not with each other. Yeah. We might even be teammates and fight. It is what it is. But when it's time to go, put a work, it's like family.
We're fighting because we respect each other's grind.
So Bucks are coming off a 16-game winning streak, best record in the NBA. But are the Suns the best team in the league right now?
No, I will have the Bucks as the best team
still
right now, because they've been there, they've done it. They're in sync with each other. Everyone knows their roles. Everyone's playing to the max of their ability. With Suns. They have a higher ceiling. You know, Book and KD are playing great. Chris Paul still needs to dial himself in, and they need to figure out how to put Ayton into this game. They got to figure out how to get him involved so he can be a threat also. Once they figure out those 2 players, I don't care about the rest of the team. Once they figure out those 2 players, then they will then become the favorite. But that's the scary part, that they're right behind Bucks, and 2 players are still trying to figure out how to dial themselves in while the Bucks is already dialed in.
When you talk about the Bucks just have won a championship, right? But KD's won two Finals MVPs, so he knows what it takes to get to that hump. Had a chance to knock the Bucks out, got a big ass foot, you know what I mean? So wasn't able to do it, but still made that shot. Does KD have enough to help lead this team and show, and we've had this conversation before where last shot is a Book is a KD against the Mavs. It was KD, could easily be Book. But what does it mean for that Suns team to have somebody like a KD, one of the best offensive players in the game, probably the best offensive player in the league right now, to now take this team that lost to the Bucks in 6 to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I think, if the Bucks and Suns meet up, it favors the Suns because you don't have PJ Tucker. You don't have someone that really, really irritates Kevin, right? Even though Kevin was whooping his ass. But just the fact that he was always there worrying about and focusing on Kevin, that whole series was,
The Texas thing, it feels like.
It was just one of those things where PJ really, he was just going to be there. You don't have that person, right? So now that means Drew Holiday has to try to figure out who's going to torch him the worst, the bigger Booker or the bigger, because Middleton can't guard either one of these two. And if Middleton is actually trying to play defense, then you're losing him on the offensive end. So now that, Kevin has help, the Bucks are not prepared for it.
Now, when we talk about best duos in the league, Giannis, Middleton, Joker, Jamal Murray, but Joker's really pulling them both up. Tatum, Brown, Steph, Clay, Harden, Embiid, Luka, Kyrie are some of the names that come to mind. But are KD and Devin Booker, I know we got a super small sample size, but are KD and Devin Booker the best duo in the NBA right now?
If it was a 2-on-2, yeah.
Honestly, if it's 2-on-2, it really depends who gets the ball first.
No, 2-on-2, yeah, no. If you're playing a 2-on-2 match, then yes.
So we're playing doubles. They out there like Venus and Serena.
Because KD has the advantage over anyone who's going to guard him, and Booker's 1-2 pull-up game, post-up game, 3-level scoring. Yeah, I mean the only group I see is that's tricky with them two would be someone like Luka and Kyrie, because they're both crafty. Sometimes, crafty and methodical players can really, offset two greats. It's one of those things where, Tatum and, Brown are, solid. They're great in their own way. But they're going to be up next.
Yeah.
But it'd be between, KD and Booker or Kyrie and, Luka.
Yeah, and obviously everybody who's watching the show knows it's a team game. So if it was 2-on-2, again, if and buts with cookies and nuts, now you got to surround them with them 10 other guys.
Hold on. Technically, it is 2-on-2. Technically, it is 2-on-2. The rest of Dallas, we don't know, and the rest of we don't know. Let's just be honest.
Damn, Gil.
Are y'all? Am I the only one who just focuses on the stars? I think we judge players, ex-players judge the players on how, whatever they see themselves in. So I only watch.
You only watch an All-NBA guy.
I don't want to know what a role player looks like. I don't care. I don't care.
Track their progression. They might start as a role player. They can get to that star level.
What I'm saying is I don't care if you're diving on the floor and jumping and taking 52 charges. Good job. That's your job. That's not my job. That's your job.
Do you not watch and appreciate that at least?
Sure, because we get the ball back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You take a charge, we get the ball back. Yes.
Okay.
Take the ball out. That's like rebound. Do your job. I don't. So me watching the game, I just want to watch. Kyrie and Luka. That's why when you say names, I don't look at those jerseys. I like, who the did you just pass the ball to? Who is that?
It's like football. They just a number to earn your respect. All right, good job, 15. You don't get a name yet until you actually do something.
You hit him with the Paul Pierce. Hey, turn around. What's your name? Oh, all right, okay. All right, I didn't see you on the scouting report.
That's easily still the most disrespectful shit ever. It's like, I didn't even know you was on the scouting report.
Yeah, I didn't see you on the scouting report. Anybody see him on the scouting report? That shit hits hard, bro. That's like, ooh.
I didn't know you was on the team. Like, damn. All right, so let's go to the East Coast. Your favorite New York team, the New York Knickerbockers.
Ooh, it's the only
Your favorite fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Knicks are the hottest team in the NBA right now. Bucks had a 6-6 streak. The Bucks got smacked.
Wait, hold on.
The New York Knicks. Gil, I'm not going to let this Knicks slander ride. Okay? I'm doing this for Mero. I'm doing this for Spike Lee.
Okay.
Ben Stiller. That's about it. Who else in there?
You would say Stephen A. and Rappaport, but for some reason they hate on the Knicks more
Rappaport be in my mentions too much. He be trying to slang out my mentions like, dog, you got a bigger following than me. You can't be slanging out my mentions. I got to be slanging out yours. That's neither here nor there. I rock with you, Remy. You're all gravy. But so Knicks right now, Bucks had that 16-game win streak. It was snapped by the Sixers. Knicks have won 9 straight, including an impressive double overtime win over the Celtics. Double OT. Mm-hmm. That was impressive. Mm-hmm. Okay, if you're doubting,
I'm not worried about. Yeah, I'm not worrying about the Knicks. Never the Knicks themselves.
But we got to talk.
But you said the hottest.
They're the hottest team. 9-game win streak is the longest win streak in the league right now. By definition, in this 9-game span, they are the hottest. Okay. I think Josh Hart still hasn't lost as a New York Knick.
He hasn't.
I heard. So you know who Josh Hart is?
Yes, I know who Josh Hart is.
Would you give him the dab? Because a lot of his teammates
I like Josh Hart.
He gets the dab. A lot of his teammates leave him hanging. So Knicks have beaten the best teams in the East, except for the Milwaukee Bucks. They're 0-3 against the Bucks. Mm-hmm. Are they for real or are they fugazi?
Listen, I like them. I really do. They're stepping up to the challenge. They're finally, but this should be like a wake up call for a lot of the league that one player that knows how to play the game and fits with the rest can actually change your team. It's not 4, 5, 6 players. It can just be one sometimes. You got Brunson. That is the difference maker. You got a guy, he reminds me of Sam Cassell when Sam Cassell got with Kevin Garnett, right? Sam was 34, 35 when he made his first All-Star game? Because what Kevin Garnett needed was a guy who hit big shots at the end of the game. He was just a big shot taker and maker. That year, Sam Cassell averaged 20 points a game, and that's what pushed Kevin over the tops, and that's what Brunson reminds me of. That he's that guy who hits big shots. He's gritty, he's sturdy. He's just a really solid player. And I think in the playoffs, I will have them favored over, because at this point it looks like they're going to be playing, Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah. So Knicks are 5 right now, Cavs are 4. But as we've seen in this league, man, it's about 18, 20 games left. This whole shit.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, it'd be them at the 4-5, unless something drastic happens. So, you can really say, it's going to be them versus Cleveland. It's going to be this series. That series would be, can Brunson take over the series? It has nothing to do with Randall. No, nothing. Randall is, I call him, he's called the black hole, but that's gonna be him in the playoffs. He's gonna be the ISO player when it comes to half court. So, him giving you, anywhere from 19 to 25 and 12, that's just gonna be his game. It's not like he's gonna go off and give you 40 in the playoffs. So it's really going to come down to, is Brunson going to be that, 21 to 25 also, so they can have the dual 1-2 punch.
And just to mention, this past Sunday, Knicks beat the Celtics double overtime, no Jalen Brunson. So obviously you don't want to look too much into one game, but
I don't.
You see what this team has the potential to do when they're all locked in and doing it. So now we got to move on to the fan base, Gil. So you've had some interesting opinions about Knicks fans historically, during your time. But do they deserve some love for staying down throughout all these? It's been 20 years of trauma. This team has only won one playoff series since 2000, and that was in 2013, Gil. So these fans have known pain. They've known heartache, okay? I think you're directing your energy. We can't look at the fans. We got to go to the top organizationally. If we want to point the finger up top, That's who we can blame. I'm not gonna say anything because when I pull up to Madison Square Garden, I don't want to get escorted out.
Wait, so we're gonna blame the man up top for how the fans act?
If you're putting out a subpar product deliberately, how can you expect fans to get down with it?
Wait, hold on.
It starts at the top, it don't start at the bottom. My logic is undeniable, Gil.
No. Like
I'm trying to get you back in Knicks fans' good graces. We're supposed to be in New York soon.
No, what I'm saying is when you think about anything, you see how they are on a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Mathematics, at some point, they will go on a 9-game losing streak. It evens itself out, right? What happens during that 9-game losing streak? Are they still supportive?
I think so.
Or are they telling them how shit they are, which continues from 9 to 10 to 11 to 12, the negativity after negativity after negativity. That's the difference. Like when you say, yeah, they've been here the whole time. Have you? I mean, you think booing your team for the last 13 years is actually being there for them? No.
But some would call that motivation.
I've never seen no negativity being done anywhere on the planet that turned into positivity.
I mean, I feel like
in real action. Like booing someone.
Lakers booed to greatness. They were bullied to greatness.
They were bullied or booed?
Lakers were bullied to greatness. So you're getting bullied on social media.
No, bullied and booed is different.
Okay.
What did the boo do for Ben Simmons? Did it turn into anything positive?
No.
What did the boo do to Russell Westbrook? We're not talking about from the fans and from the home fans.
No.
What did it do to his confidence? These are one players. Imagine when you're doing it to every player in the team. There's no positive.
But I'm saying that's historically.
If I listen.
This is 2022, 2023 season.
When you're coaching, you coach.
I coach the youngsters. Right? I coach high school too.
They miss 4 shots in a row. You still positive. Come on, hey, hit the next one. I'm
gonna be real. Sometimes you gotta. That ain't your shot, Chief. Go ahead.
I know,
Scoot up.
But I'm saying you're not out there booing him and booing him and booing and boo. And now he don't want to shoot anymore. Like so, it's my thing is real big on. You get what you put out. If you put out negative energy, that's what you're going to get in return from the players. That's what I say. None of them players are training every single day, all in the summer, to come here and get booed. If they start off missing some shots, they start off missing some shots, right? Yeah. Eventually it's going to turn over. The work ethic is going to turn over. But if you're already telling me how trash I am, I don't want no part of you.
But is that Knicks fans or is that the New York mentality in general?
It's the New York mentality.
Because there's a lot of hateration, and I can understand cold weather, broke jumpers. They don't have rats everywhere.
The size of dogs.
Trash on the streets, lingering pee-pee smell all over the city. Just smells like urine.
You know what? I'm sorry, Nick. I forgive y'all.
That's all I'm saying, Gil. We got to look at all the factors.
It's like you just described like what a third world country.
The pee-pee in your nostrils.
you just I get it. Okay.
But the trash on the streets, rats the size of cats. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? And no disrespect to rats, fine animal, but I just don't need to see it.
We used to watch the great Knicks, right? The Patrick Ewings, John Starks. We used to watch them. I know what the fan base sounds like. Like I know how this fan base is supposed to sound. You know, so when you get to the NBA and then you're just hearing the boos, it's like, ooh, hey, y'all booing your own? This don't remind me of what I used to watch on TV. I didn't see that. Yeah. So when you see it up close and you start asking players, it's different. It's like, show that same support because it's you have a great product that can really do damage to opponents when applied correctly.
All right, I'll give you that.
You know, that's all I be having with the Knicks. Instead of using that energy to boo, use it to cheer your own team and watch what happens.
So, like we talked about before, Knicks have won one playoff series in the past 23 years, I believe, since 2000.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Will this be the year that they get to 2?
I don't want to go that far.
You don't think they can beat the Cavs?
I do not trust the Knicks fans. I'm sorry. I do not.
They don't got to play. Jalen Brunson got to play. Julius Randle got to play.
Listen, I do not trust them. Listen, your character, what they tell us, what we are taught, are we taught as human beings? We are tested not on our greatness, but on our failures.
Okay.
Right? When we're losing, that's when our character is tested. Knicks fans' character, when they're losing, showed us who they really are. That's all I'm saying. When we're on the bench and we're losing, it's the poise to say, hey, fellas, calm down. We got this. Don't worry about it. Let's just keep fighting. Let's just keep playing. That's the sign of a leader, right?
Yeah.
Who can keep everyone calm? How about the Knicks fans?
Okay.
When they losing, they're erratic.
We're going to see. That's the best part, is that we're going to see soon enough.
I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I got faith.
Because that's the
Knicks
only
fans.
series I actually watched. Last when I was watching, Ice Trade go in there and rock them. I just watched just to see the boos. I swear to God, I just watched. Like when they put that's the like I will watch that series before the Denver and whoever they play.
But good for me, it's like when the best team in the league, when the Lakers, when the Knicks are in the playoffs, it just makes it more enjoyable. It's more
I like
exciting.
fan base. Like I want to see like Sacramento versus.
Are you on the Kings bandwagon now?
The fans, when they're drunk, do they still got $1 beer night? The $1. Oh
I'm sure they figure out a way to get it.
$1 beer? Think about that crowd, $1 beer. Now playing the Warriors. It's fights. That's great playoffs.
Yeah, I think they will break that 16 season drought and get in there.
Okay, like there's just certain fan bases I watch because you can feel the energy.
Okay. So let's go from fans to players. So we got to talk about Joker, Nikola Jokic, what these Nuggets are doing. Number one in the West. The knock and criticism on Joker has been, he's got back-to-back MVPs. He's probably going to make it a three-peat. I mean, the triple doubling is phenomenal. I think he's 26, 27, and 0 in his last 27 games when he's dropped the triple double. So does it playing winning basketball? Clap back at Perk about the stat patter situation, which we'll talk about Giannis, I think, at another point, but I wasn't really feeling the Ricky Davis. But at the end of the day, go get your triple-double, young man. Go get your triple-double. So you got two MVPs, heavily favored to win his third. So he'd be the first player since the 80s to win 3 straight MVPs. Obviously, Larry Bird, the last one to do it. Another legend, another guy who doesn't get a ton of respect from this current generation. Had a janky back. As somebody who needs a backiotomy as well, you can understand how frustrating that is when you're hooping. But here's the thing, every 3-time MVP has at least one NBA championship. That has eluded Joker to this point. So I want to know, does Joker have the most pressure on him to win an NBA title?
For me, no. The reason I say this, we're acting like he hasn't been balling in the playoffs. His first year in the playoffs, he was averaging 27, 12, and 6. One game away from being in the, Western Conference Finals. Second year in the playoffs, lost to the team that won the championship. And he in that playoff run, he was down 3-1 twice.
Yeah.
Right?
Who won the championship, just for those who may not be familiar?
Lakers.
Okay, let's make it sure.
Lakers.
The hardest championship in NBA history, I would argue.
And then
no home court advantage.
Yeah, no home court advantage.
Imprisoned at Disney World.
Yeah. Then
smoking mid, not smoking fire. Not getting fired through the walls. It's hard to get fired in Disneyland for those who know.
And then his third playoff run would have been without Murray.
Yep.
He lost to the Suns, which he was balling. They went to the championship. And then his recent one, they lost to the team that the Golden State Warriors, who won the championship. So every team that actually knocked him out has been them dudes. So it's not like he's going to the playoffs and just falling short to just some, mediocre teams. He's been, balling. I'm pretty sure he's had the best playoff numbers in the last 4 years. It's hard to say that there's a player who's dominated playoff series. Maybe maybe Giannis, maybe. But other than that, he's been great. You know, he needs more help. You know, the players around him has not been there. They've been hurt. They haven't, you know, been a healthy team, and he's done carried them. He's been carrying them. I want to throw something extra in there. And, you know, this is really, really a hot take. Joker is the best draft pick since Michael Jordan, 1984.
I think that's better than LeBron.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, you have to do your numbers. Well, LeBron is a number one pick. So the number one pick supposed to play like a number one pick.
I feel it.
Jordan was the number 3 pick, which actually helps his boost of what he did. Joker's a second round pick. So for a second round pick to actually play like a number 1 pick, it actually, when the numeric makes him the
probably number 1 pick of all. I'm just saying,
yeah,
the best draft pick.
To make him the second best draft pick by his numbers. 2-time MVP, about to be 3-time MVP.
But if you're gonna make that
4-time All NBA player, it actually those numbers will actually be the second best from his projection.
But if Jordan's the 3rd pick, isn't it fair to say that somebody that's top 3 is expected to play at an MVP level?
Yeah, but even if he was a number 1 pick, he played better than the number 1 pick.
Yeah, for sure.
But since he was 3, it actually throws, you know, it's just one of those things where, that sucks, but all right. And then 3rd will be Kobe Bryant.
For sure.
So, I mean, you know, you can argue Kobe's the second best pick.
And I would probably say Kobe's second just from where
because Joker is so far second round. You're talking about what, pick 30, 40?
Literally got picked during a Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
They didn't have enough respect for the man to show his pick. That's
what I'm saying. So, you know, you got to understand, you know, second round pick, that's 2 years and you're gone. 1 year and you're gone. That's not even, you know, I was the best second round pick. And I was the second best pick since Jordan. He has 2 MVPs.
Yeah. So,
about to
get
be
it off
3.
the page, as you say.
You know, so he has to be, you know, 2 in just a short period of time. If not, the only person that's in front of him will be Kobe.
Yeah.
Because I think Kobe was the 13th pick?
I'd put Kobe ahead of Jordan just for what he was able to accomplish. And the unknown. The unknown.
Yeah, I don't.
Taking a high school guy.
I know that, but I'm just talking about, but when you're talking about, you know, 9 scoring titles, all that, it kind of, you know, being a 3rd pick kind of, you know, helped him.
But that'd be an interesting debate discussion, I feel like, for the internet to have that.
Yeah, that is, but that's.
So let us know. Drop it in the comments.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's the second best round pick ever.
Yeah, and the thing, I think a lot of us are now coming on the Joker train. And like, believe me, I still got a pander for Milwaukee Bucks tickets. If the Nuggets were ever offering me some tickets, let me bring the Blicky in the strip club too. I could potentially change my mind, but Denver, it's just a little.
You know what makes him? You know where he doesn't get the respect, and it makes sense. He's not the number 1 option. He's the number 2 option. He's the guy that you add with a superstar, and the superstar gets to do them, and he gets everybody else going, right? And I think, like we seen when Murray was there, when Murray was being him, you can see like Joker, you know, doing it. Murray, you do you, and you know, you go out there to 50, to 45, to 50, you do that, and I'll make sure everyone else eats, and you know, since you know Michael Porter Jr. hasn't stepped up, you know, to take on that spot, or, you know, Murray hasn't really, you know, regained his true form, you know, Joker's been holding it down as the number 1 option. But I think, you know, once a star that can really put the ball in the basket like a Dame, it'd be hard to stop a team. Like if you added Dame to that roster, and it's Dame and Joker, that's a whole nother problem.
And I think the problem, some people hear this, like, oh, what do you mean he's not a number one option? But what he's able to do on that court, right? He doesn't need to score to impact winning. Like the dimes are just so phenomenal.
It's okay. So it's a more unselfish side of LeBron, right?
Yeah.
When LeBron had, Wade or Kyrie, when that fourth quarter came, he's deferring to Kyrie. I will worry about everybody else. Same thing like Luka. And, we all sit back and say, how do they match? Because Luka can say, I can be the second option. I'm a number one option, but I can go to the 2 and still worry about everybody else and let Kyrie just, play narrow-minded basketball and do what he's great at.
But still can get a bucket.
And then I feel like it. You have players who can jump from 1 to 2, and there's just some players who can't be a second option.
No.
They can be a second option. But there's players that can bounce out of 1 and 2, and that's what makes them, more compatible to play with.
All right, that was another great show. But before we go, man, I got to talk to you. We've had this kind of the elephant in the room right here. This oversized bobblehead dog looks like one of them little figures from Tales from the Hood. Like when you leave the room, we're just going to wake up and try to give us all buckets. Where you get this thing at? How do I get one?
Okay, so this is a gift from one of my biggest supporters. His Instagram name is Warehouse6539X. He has the biggest Agent Zero Gilbert Arenas collection. And he's from Ohio.
Cleveland? What part?
Cleveland. He's Cleveland. He's not a LeBron fan. He's a Gilbert Arenas. So he sent me this as a gift because he has 2 more.
Oh, he got just 2 more chilling in the
jersey. Yeah.
Well, that's legendary.
So he hooked me up, for the show.
They kind of get you cankles, but I'm just gonna, I ain't gonna point no fingers. I ain't gonna point no fingers. I'm gonna just point it out. Wait, you signed it too? Wait,
yeah, I signed it back then.
You
Yeah.
gave it to him? Okay, see, y'all can't see the signature, but that's all great. Well, look, this has been another edition of No Chill with Gilbert Arenas, another one of our heat checks. We'll be back with more very soon.